What's up, guys? A very warm welcome to the brand new show, the brand new episode of the Flypswitch show. I have hackdroid with me on the camera, and two more people who don't have their face cams on, but you'll listen to their voice. One is Shreyas, and then we have Virat with us. Boys, take it away. Starting with you, Hack.
Hello, everyone, in the game voice.
hello and hello, everyone. And then we have
um,
Shreyas.
Hello, guys.
Then we have VT.
Hello.
What's up, boys? So, in today's episode, we're going to talk about how much we have been missing the good games, and we wanted to go back and play those games, but we just could not. And also the fact that there are certain new games that we discovered as well along the lines. So, starting with the game that recently got finished, Hackdroid finished this, I believe. Which one did you did? Which one did you do?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Tell me about it, please.
So, this game has been a very refreshing change from the recent trend that you see in games in
Okay.
today's day and age.
Right.
Um Mainly that the game was completed when it released.
Right.
So,
This thing.
half of the games that we see, including the AAA titles like from Activision, especially Call of Duty and everything, have been buggy at launch at best, have been delayed for a while, have not been completed. The game quality is not worth the 70 odd dollars that we are paying for them as customers, right? So, in that angle, the game is beautiful. The game is perfect. The game has no issues, and the game received resounding uh, 8 out of 10 points only for that, for being complete at launch. And the rest of the game was it's a complete RPG based on the Dungeons and Dragons genre.
Right.
So it's more of it's the old D&D kind of a class where every move you make is decided by a roll of a dice.
Mm-hmm.
So you have an equal chance of uh, successfully finishing that action or not. It all depends on your luck. And it's a team game. It's a co-op game as well. If you can play that with your friends, it's nothing like that. You can easily beat the bosses, and it's an interesting game to go for.
Right.
It has a lot of playability. I played as one character. I
Mm-hmm.
went out with the straight off human paladin build, which is the standard build.
Right.
Um, yeah, the good guy build, if you will.
What is
You
a
can
good
also
guy
play as
build?
a good guy build is basically the guy who stands up for the innocence and never does anything wrong, never steals, all these kind of characteristics. And you can play as any kind of a race. You have in the D&D universe, you have elves, you have
Mm.
dwarves,
Right.
uh, and
And then.
you have drows, you have vampires, you have the other classes as well, like something called as a dark shade, where you dark urge, and you have nothing but the urge to kill. So there are all the responses are very muted in that particular scenario. So you can play as any race, you can play as any character, you can play as a cleric, or a cleric is a wizard who only heals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And or you can play as a completely as a wizard who does damage based on magical spells and incantations. Or you can play as a soldier who's purely a weapons expert. Or you
Mm.
can play as a changeling. You can change yourself into any beast or any animal,
Right.
huge bears and other things, and you can kill your foes. So there is a lot of such element in that. It's a complete RPG. The voice acting is brilliant. The visuals are brilliant. The worlds that they've created are brilliant. So you can talk to animals if you have a spell or a potion for that. There are a lot of crafting within the game, especially potions and other stuff. So yeah, it's a huge game to talk about, and there I can continue to talk about it for a while if given the chance. But I don't want to take over uh, the time from the other people as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
in short, that's the game, and I
Right.
would definitely suggest people to play it if you can afford it.
I you sound like I heard I was watching this game, honestly speaking. I मेरे से नहीं इतना work that I could play this game because I could not dedicate the time and the resources to this one. And then I was like, let's just keep ourselves in the audience for a bit and watch this. And
Sid, you got to excuse me for a bit. Work call.
okay, okay,
I'll be
mm, right.
So
Which
that's
it
like
launched, what? Finished,
it
yeah,
launched, completed, finished. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, I so there's this friend of mine. He's a doctor,
Right.
and he told me he took 3 days off
Just to play this game.
just to play this game on launch.
Oh yeah.
So that says a lot.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people are like, first of all, the fan base of this game across the installations. In fact, जो पिछली वाली जितनी भी हुई हैं आज तक, that those were the ones I was just listening about. I never paid attention to this, but this one made it to the point where I was the target audience. So I was targeted in a way where I could see certain bunch of players, bunch of streamers who were playing this game as well. And उसमें से सबसे ज़्यादा what I saw was there were a lot of adult scenes, man. Adult scenes इतने सारे कैसे कहाँ से इतने सारे adult scenes, sex scenes, if you will. Everybody, I mean, this turned into a Titanic well, a situation altogether where people are just going for that scene or that particular play. So, what is it all about? Like, is the frenzy real or hack? What do you have to say about this?
I would say it's not that much because in the whole scheme of the game, and, the main campaign will take you around 75 odd hours to finish,
Right.
and in that, um, the sex scenes would be like for what 5 minutes.
This
So
उतना ही
it's
चाहिए
not
और
that
कितना
much.
चाहिए?
So it's it depends. It's a complete RPG, right? You have the chance of, and that's as all traditional RPGs, you have the chance of romancing one of the NPCs or the partners or whatever you see,
Right.
and so there is equal chance of doing this, and in that way, um, these sex scenes come whenever you romance the character to the max, and you answer all the right questions, and finally you have the chance to do it,
Right.
and this can be a little bit too much at certain times compared to other games. But then again, when you see to it,
Right.
uh, it's part of the RPG traditional lore, and
Mm.
it has always been in all the RPG games.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ratings of the game depends on that. So it's been given a mature rating only for that. You can disable gore and you can disable these like scenes in the settings if you will, if you are
कौन
a
करता है? Nobody.
streamer.
I don't think anybody has
But
done
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
nobody does.
0.01% at all if they were under supervision, actual supervision. I don't think people could do that.
Exactly.
So that's something that I wanted to understand, because people who would like to play this game, they were just going for that particular reason only. And I realized how funny that situation was, but I think it does sell. And speaking of which, speaking of um, the the fan base dedicatedly going for this, I realized how nicely woven the whole campaign was, along with these antics, of course, these marketable antics, if you will. And then came a bunch of other games that we could we could play around these. One of which was, I think, Naraka, that I enjoyed thoroughly, but I don't think you did. Do you?
I did enjoy it. It's not like I didn't. It's just that the level of difficulty started to creep in very early for me.
Yeah.
So it was the uh, if I was to compare with any other game similar to that, let's say uh, take Fortnite, because that's the other game we are playing right now,
Yeah.
and there is a scalability to the difficulty in this.
Uh,
It grows on, it gradually adds on
yeah.
the difficulty levels, and you get sometimes get good players, sometimes you get all bots, but at least you enjoy the game in that. But in this one, there is a significant element of upgradability, and certain things are play to win in this, I feel, because you can buy levels, you can buy skills to the characters that you have. If you have coins, enough hero coins, right?
Right.
You can unlock hero characteristics, and you can level up your hero. And if you and I are playing the same hero,
Right.
let's say that drunken warrior, that guy we used to play, right? So if you're both playing the same guy, um, and what happens is yours is a level 12 character, mine is a level 1 character. There's a significant difference of between my skills and your skills, and you
Right.
can easily defeat me.
Is that I didn't see that much of a difference though. I mean, it was something that I realized was not exactly part of what was the in I think in the survival mode. I think you guys played, boys. Yes.
I've seen a few videos,
Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
um, but I wasn't sort of interested
You
because it's first of all it's like a BR game, and
you don't like beer.
I yeah, I find BRs very
Boring.
boring. Yeah,
Nah.
I'm more of a traditional 6v6 guy, so I find
Ah.
that much more fun. And the second
Yeah,
thing is
same
that
here.
it's more melee based from what I saw.
Yeah.
So that's also it's fine. I mean, it has its market. One thing I feel like why Naraka has like such a steep learning curve compared to Fortnite is Fortnite per se is made for Western audience,
True.
while Naraka was originally made for
Mm-hmm.
more Eastern side, more
Right.
like Asian audience. And we all know Asian players are like quite sweaty.
That's
So it
quite
only,
quite
That's true.
a that's quite a remark to even. That's quite a blame that
I
you're
mean,
putting on these guys.
we are also Asian players,
Yeah. But technically,
so
yes, of course.
technically yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this side of the world is like
The third world.
we are like much more this side of the world, like India,
Right.
Southeast Asia, East Asia. So
Yeah.
we are like more sweaty players or like more competitive players,
Yeah.
as opposed to Western audience, which is a more chilled out audience. So that makes sense that Fortnite is like slightly easier to understand, and
Mm.
especially them coming out with this one no build. So
Yeah.
that's a game changer. I haven't played a lot of Fortnite, but from
Mm.
what I played when there was only build mode, and then I played when there was no build.
Right.
And I think no build is pretty great if say for example someone like me who's coming from COD
Mm.
or some other BR where there isn't like much building. It's just like
Oh yeah.
you
Yeah.
pick up guns and start shooting.
Yeah.
I think that's like a really good place to start with. So that way we can already see Fortnite is making that space welcoming for new players.
Yeah. But I mean, we have an example right here, bro. There is an
Hmm.
avid Call of Duty player, right, who's got the camera on right now, and, and I successfully converted this man from being an avid Call of Duty player. He's still the Call of Duty player he was, but I had to convert him from Call of Duty to Fortnite. Okay, the successful conversion that I've ever witnessed is because of Zero Build. I don't think I would have been able to do it otherwise as well. He joined me before that as well when builds were there, but we would not exactly play that much. But ever since Zero Build, I think I receive invites from Hack, then him receiving invites from me because he's already playing. I think.
Slight
I don't
correction
think there's a
there.
lot of
Yeah.
Slight correction there. Sid. I never played even a single build. I mean, match when the builds was there. I never wanted to install the game itself. Then.
that was already part of that thing, right? So I mean, which is something that
Yeah.
I realized which was that. But I think ek to bari to hua hai where I could rope you in, but that's I think
Yeah.
that's
I
that's something
immediately
that we can't even
uninstalled or
remember.
something.
I
Yeah,
feel like given the current
yeah.
status of Call of Duty, it wouldn't be really hard for anyone to convince them to not play COD.
Mm-hmm.
For example, uh, they added this rank mode, rank
Mm.
Warzone,
Yeah.
and if I just tell you, oh, there's rank now in Warzone, and you used to play Warzone, you'd be excited. You'd be like, हाँ चलो सही है,
नहीं
keep
था
playing.
जब मैंने छोड़ा खेलना वो तब था. That was there
Mhm.
when I stopped playing that. Then I think that
But
was when I stopped playing it altogether.
but the thing is, so what I noticed, I played for 3 seasons. What I noticed was, uh, first of all, there are no servers here for rank play,
For the rank play. Yeah.
ranked Warzone play. Ranked multiplayer, there are servers in Bahrain and Singapore, so that's fine.
Yeah.
That's still like sub 100 pings you can still play. But for Warzone, servers aren't there. Servers are in Europe or NA,
Right.
and it's sort of really unfair to play. It's not even like worth playing to play above 100 ping in my opinion.
True. Very true. I mean,
And
there's too much effort for nothing almost.
yeah, in a game where TTK is too high, I mean, you just blink and you die. Um, there's no point playing at 100 plus ping.
Very true, man.
Um, so yeah, I mean, and the state of the game isn't really good either. There are like a lot of hackers. There's a lot of glitches. So we were trying to do this thing where there's this nuke in Warzone.
That was
So
the procedure, nah? The
yeah, so
whole
you have to
thing.
get like 5 wins and then you have
Yeah.
to do the nuke contract thing.
True.
So we did that in season 1
Uh,
somehow, and then they changed the rewards for nuke, and we were like, "Ki chalo, let's do it for the new rewards."
yeah.
And we tried a lot, but it was so frustrating because either there would be guys with shotguns,
Uh,
um, and those shotguns were like super broken for like almost a month, or there would be guys with RPG, or throwing knives. All of these things are like really really annoying. I mean, it's fine, you can counter them, but
yeah.
uh, losing a gunfight where you shouldn't, just because someone's like corner camping with a shotgun is like bad.
Yeah.
And
True.
and then they just had like this glitch where you would do something and then you would just be in a gulag,
Yeah.
but the gulag fight would never start.
Serious?
And yeah, and you would just stay in the gulag till the match gets over.
ये नहीं हुआ मेरे
So
साथ. This didn't
ये मेरे
happen.
को मेरे बहुत बार हुआ है, like I clipped it also. The guy
Okay.
would just be roaming around in the gulag, and we'll be the last
अच्छा.
team surviving.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
and
But the
then you
free
just have to be
gulags.
free gulags, and then you just have to be lucky
Nobody
that
drops it.
guy is like considerate enough.
Yeah.
He leaves. Otherwise, like we would go on a 4 streak win, and then so we did this one day. We went on a 4 streak win.
Oh.
On first match was fine. Second match was like this guy,
Hmm.
someone doing a stim glitch where they were just in the gas
Right.
and they were just farming stims. Then third match there was a hacker. We beat that hacker. Fourth match
Uh,
there was this gulag guy doing his thing in the gulag,
and
and after
that.
that we were just like fuck this.
हाँ ये तो होता ही है. I mean, it became a little too frustrating for people. They were promised that let's have the backwards compatibility in the game as well. I was super excited when I saw the system requirements for this new game. It said it would work on a recommended system of 1066 GB. Like PUBG configurations
Yeah.
were pretty on point with this one, and I was like, how is that not part of the roadmap anymore, man? You
So the thing
start from
is,
there, and now it's not happening.
even when I first played this game, I played on a 1060 6 GB.
Yeah,
Uh, so the game came out in October. Back then, I had like a 1060, and in Feb, I upgraded to a 3080 Ti.
right.
But the thing is, so I should have gotten much more frames, right? You would think, oh, it's like a nice graphic card, you should get much more frames. But the thing is, with every other update, they just keep breaking things. And I think season 4 upgrade was like so bad, update, sorry, was so bad that they actually broke the game completely.
Yeah,
And even like the top streamers were complaining ki with them with like their 4090s and shit. Even they were complaining ki, we're just getting like sub 50 frames, sub 60 frames
yeah,
on a 4090. So that's one thing. I mean, so going back to the original point, if you really tell someone to play Fortnite,
yeah,
and just objectively speaking,
yeah.
let's not talk about the gameplay or the graphics or whatever. Let's
Mm.
just talk about what Epic Games has to offer compared to what Activision has to offer. It's not really a hard sell
Yeah.
to convert someone from Fortnite to COD. I think
Yeah.
learning curve is probably
Ranked over.
the only one thing
Yeah.
that would probably make someone not switch.
Right.
But other than that, it's not really a hard sell. I mean, just think of it. Epic Games sorry, if in Fortnite,
Yeah.
uh, doesn't matter which part of subculture you are. Matlab, you could be a anime person. You could be like someone who reads comics. You
Yeah.
could be someone who watches sci-fi movies or whatever. You will have, or you could be just someone who enjoys rap music.
Right.
And you have like characters from all of these
Oh yeah.
sub communities. And I'm just like giving like a very wide example. Obviously, they're like much more than
Oh
this.
yeah. Oh yeah. You would be surprised to know how much Fortnite has changed, and it has attracted a lot more Call of Duty folks with the new
Hmm.
stuff as well. Like they have added turrets and whatnot, which is what I'm enjoying as well, right? And then also
Hmm.
realize that how nice this community has become. Like it's not exactly a community anymore. It's a metaverse. They're aiming for the metaverse.
Hmm.
They've added blockchain and Web3 and whatnot, but they're not too
Mhm.
loud about it for sure. So I mean, complaints aside from my end, I would love to see Call of Duty do something about it. But I think, yeah, these legacy titles, now these guys have to go down
Hmm.
with their pricing points for sure,
Yeah.
because these pricing points are killing me. Like these price points essentially are killing me in a way where nobody can play this game with me even if I have the game, right? So it's a
At this
it's a
point,
downer.
Call of Duty should be really free to play. I mean, even in the paid version, they're like hackers. So it's not like putting a $70 barrier is gonna stop hackers. Might as well make it free, get more players playing. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
So
I feel like.
that's the point of hackers also, right? I mean, as long as there is a AAA title,
Mm,
the
हाँ, वो तो
hackers
होएगा ही होएगा.
will try
They
to
would,
get into the market. They
yeah,
will try to earn it. And even if it's a free to play game, which is right now, right? I mean, only the multiplayer part is
plagued.
the one you buy.
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
The Warzone part is always anyways free. So i- they've already done that what you wanted to, but the
Uh,
still, as you say, the fun part of I mean, the only reason why I stopped playing is that the fun element which used to be associated with Call of
mm.
Duty for me is
yeah.
gone now.
It's not fun.
And
It feels like
Yeah.
a second job.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
right, so it's become painful for me to see or play multiplayer even. I
Mm-hmm,
enjoyed playing multiplayer in the 2019 one,
Oh yeah.
mm,
the
That was so
original
much fun. But
one.
Yeah. That was
yeah.
That was
great.
so much fun.
I think
And
2019
then,
launched.
Mm.
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry. Can I continue and then I'll.
agreed. What you were saying as well. 2019 launch was at a certain time when the game was perfectly built. Warzone was perfectly launched.
Mm-hmm.
Then the pandemic set in. Everything was like a little dream stage for the game.
Yeah.
Uh, everyone was in lockdown. They had time to play and goof off, and we really took it over. And however, the point you mentioned that there are no servers for our region
Mm.
is still a bummer. It was still from 2019. It was there for the older Call of Duty games as well. I don't know why they won't consider giving us a server here in India,
Mm-hmm.
but
I have a
yeah.
theory regarding this, but it might be a conspiracy theory per se. But basically, when Warzone Ranked came out, that was around, I think, season 3.
Mm.
Uh, all the hype for this game had completely died down. CDL was almost over. People stopped playing this. People stopped streaming this. This guy, if you know, Scump, he's like
Ha.
the
Yeah.
uh,
A US
he's
streamer. Yeah.
yeah he's been playing competitive COD since I don't know, since I was a child. I used to come back from school, uh, turn on YouTube, and I would just watch his videos. He would be playing BO2, Black Ops 2, and now like it's almost been 10 years since
Right.
that, and he's been playing since before that. And he had this to say about COD that in quotes that it's so dog shit that he doesn't even want to touch it. He started playing Apex. He streams Apex
Scum.
and Scump.
अभी
Yeah,
शिफ्ट हुआ है वो
and
तो.
हाँ मतलब almost whatever like 2 3 months ago, and उसने I think 2 seasons खेले हैं. Both the seasons he went to like I think Masters.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that says a lot. Ki, like this guy who used to just play COD, just put COD videos, completely stopped playing COD. And even when this
Yeah.
serial thing would happen, he would get more views than the actual Call of Duty channel. So basically, around season 3, all the hype for COD died because game was dog shit and there were like a lot of bugs
Yeah.
and the game was boring. So what they did was uh, they got Warzone ranked in game, and one way to sort of like get that hype back is to have streamers play it.
Yeah.
And uh, one thing I noticed with these streamers is most of the people playing in their lobbies are us,
Mm.
as in Asian people, or even when I have played ranked, I've come across a few
Yeah.
top 250s,
Yeah.
and I mean they can only fight when people in front of them are not shooting back.
Yeah.
So
Wait.
that's one thing. I mean, if you're playing on 200 ping, you won't even get a chance to react, right?
Funny thing, yeah, man.
So,
This is what I've realized now. I mean, after a long time of playing Call of Duty for since 2009, it's been 19. Like I played
hmm,
earlier Call of Duties as well, but once we started getting into the vigor of battle royale, I was super excited. We are playing
mm-hmm,
Warzone. Wow, PUBG killer is here. Wow, Apex killer is here. Wow, Fortnite killer is here. Of all things, सारी
mm-hmm.
games के killer बन के आया था Warzone, and then the expectations were high, and then suddenly, everything just fell flat on its face. Uh, one,
So this is what happens when greed takes over, right? The entire Activision um, board of directors, the members, everyone have been greed oriented for a while. They have been seeing. I mean, if you take even the older games, right? Not even just at the 2000 launch of Call of Duty, but the older Call of Duty games as well. If you take them,
yeah,
they've always been the best sellers. They've always outsold the competition, outsold the competition when it comes to just pure sales, right? Modern
hmm,
Warfare, the old and Modern Warfares, all were bestsellers of the year. They were all, making them money left and right. So when Warzone became a huge hit during the pandemic, which they did not even expect. And they had like seen tremendous amounts of returns in terms of their dividends and percentages and profit shares, whatnot. All the members, they were just pure greedy. They was just wanted to make more money, and they started losing track of building good games. The original 2019 Modern Warfare was in development for 4 years. The
Mm-hmm.
entire Warzone map, Verdansk was everything was made for 4 years. Then they suddenly gave it to. They just did the very bad integration with that Cold War game,
Cold War.
and then again that
Then
brought it
came
down
Vanguard.
a notch.
समझ नहीं आता सोच
Then
क्या रहे
came
होते
the
हैं
shittiest
exactly.
game of all, Vanguard, which was just developed in any year.
Yeah.
And it was a DLC at best. That was
Mm-hmm.
all it was. It was never meant to be launched as a full game, but they still charged the complete $70-$60, whatever it is, for it.
Yeah.
And people bought it, like me, who are, Call of Duty fans, and thought
Me.
maybe it is going to be a better thing because all the hype. And we all bought it, and then again, yeah, we suffered literally for that as well, because that was not even worthy of being called as a Call of Duty game. It was not even in the same range. But when it comes to sales, it again outsold every other game out there.
How is that? ये खुद खरीद लेते हैं क्या? मेरे को समझ नहीं आता.
नहीं. So I think the thing with COD is कि first of all, it's the brand that sells. So if you tell someone it's a COD, मतलब if I just tell you कि I'm playing COD, you'll automatically get an idea, maybe even a picture in your head that what I'm playing. Uh, Second thing, I feel like a lot of COD sales is just like on consoles, and it's
Yeah.
not even like people like us buying it. It's so people like us, we buy it because we have been playing COD for a while, and we are sort of like addicted to that gunplay.
We are the core community of that game as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, we are
but
like
we're not the ones that are spending most of the money. I think most of the money is being spent by kids who have access to their mom's credit card.
Shreyas.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Shreyas, we're talking about you right now. You've been quiet
They're
for
they're
a
also the
while.
ones who also are the ones doing most trash talking on chat.
Okay, Shreyas, this sounds like your ideal customer profile. What is up? Why do you do this?
Well, first of all, I would like to say Virat web players spend more money than me.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but he is the one who's not. He's using his
Yeah, I
own
don't have
credit
my
card.
mom's credit card.
And,
Yeah.
and trash talking, like that's like the most important part of the game, I would say. Like
Spending the credit card.
trash. No, trash talking.
Achha, that's the
Like
second most important.
yeah,
The first one
like
is still the credit card.
I mean, there could be like a game-breaking bug that can stay in the game
Yeah.
for weeks, like that stim glitch or the gulag glitch. But there's an issue in the store, and they'll hotfix it within 15 minutes.
yeah, that's true. And they like update it like every single day. Every single day, a new stuff is coming, and every time they will bring some new thing. Like they will collaborate with the boys. They will bring Homelander. Then they bring Snoop Dogg. They bring Nicki Minaj. Like back in those days, Call of Duty was a military shooter, and now it's like I don't know, like what is it? Like you
I
have
mean,
Godzilla,
वो तो
King
ठीक है
Kong.
यार.
It's a woke shooter now.
Yeah,
नहीं,
like
that's fine
where's
because
the military aspect of the game?
they still need to sell and make money, so they'll do whatever. And given, for example, what Fortnite is doing, I mean, you could play as Master Chief in Fortnite, or you could play as Goku, or you could play as Naruto.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty crazy. So, उसके हिसाब से COD has to do that. Otherwise, we'll just have like plain black and gray or black and green milsim skins, which are fine, which has a market of its own. But after all, COD is not a hardcore shooter; it's a arcade game.
अगर realistic बात करें, I mean, if we really have to bring a lot of realism, we had like a very realistic crossover. We could have brought John Wick in, if you will. And
Yeah.
that could
Yeah.
have been
There's
like such a nice crossover. Then we have
Like
Expendables mass gang
there,
of all
there, there are
things.
these there are these images of John Wick as an which people photoshopped.
Right.
I think you must have seen them. John Wick, and he's like photoshopped as
Nah.
a operator from. You haven't seen them?
Nah.
Wait,
in
I'll
Cold
show you.
War,
They were
in Cold
initially
War
there.
they collaborated with Rambo and John McClane, like from Die Hard series, like
वो तो
two of the most iconic
yeah.
80s movie characters.
Those
Like they were like John Rambo was a like legit. Yeah, that's something you
appropriate
can do.
crossover. Yeah, true, very
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Like he
But
was a
No,
green beret,
again,
and
it all
yeah, like he was literally badass.
See there.
yeah, it fits
yeah,
right in.
again, but all
Mhm.
yeah, it does fit, but the challenge is, or the difference rather is,
Yeah.
the studio's willingness to pay for this, and that's
Mhm.
where again the greed comes in, because Warner Brothers, who gave the license for John Rambo and um, McLean to
John
use,
McClane.
these are
Mhm.
old, yeah, these are older characters, and they have no upcoming movies coming up. So, like
Yep.
getting the license for that was cheaper, right?
Yeah.
But
True.
on the same thing, for example, Boys,
Yeah.
they had
Mhm.
a new season coming up. They wanted to sell the new season, promote the new season, so they needed a
Mhm.
tie-up with some game.
So that's it.
Then
Mhm.
they were in the market, and Activision was always charging very significantly higher amounts than Epic.
Mhm. Mhm.
Why does Epic have these all these tie-ups very
Right.
easily? Is because their licensing fees is very low for all these.
Mhm.
They're approachable by all these franchises. That is
Mhm.
the reason why Epic Games and Fortnite has so many collaborations with different genres, with different movies, with different. The new Matrix came in. They had
Mhm.
the Matrix collaboration, and whatever comes up, they have a easy collaboration with them. But
Right.
Yeah.
Call of Duty, Activision, they have a very high fees.
I think
Amazon, yeah,
Yeah.
Boys is from Amazon, and Amazon were definitely able to afford it. They
Yeah.
are one of the richest companies, so they can definitely afford it.
But like it's
Um,
sometimes like it's annoying. Like what's the relevance of Nicki Minaj in Call of Duty? Like
Good
who,
question.
who even listens to Nicki Minaj? And
there
like
clearly
are
a lot of
I
tons
don't
people.
of tons of
Good
people
I
question.
don't
who listen Nicki Minaj. But unfortunately, I
okay.
don't know
Mm.
how they do it. I don't know whether they have like
It takes a
some
lot of
defect
courage.
in their ears,
Yeah.
so that she sounds sweeter to them or something. But I don't know. I feel like I relate her singing to something like a cat scratching on a glass wall or something.
Well, like I won't call it singing. I would call it more of a auto tune product. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah, who is not these days? Who is
No,
not?
but auto tune, if done right, can produce like some insane results.
Okay, we're not
Ye-
defending autotune right now. Not at all.
mhm. But like
Autotune
when
is done right, then it's okay. But what I'm saying, what he's saying is, the core component, the core theme of that game is military simulation, and
yeah.
which is
Right.
heading towards realism, right?
Mhm.
So,
No, I
uh,
understand Snoop Dogg's integration
I,
because
huh?
only and only because I mean this has nothing to do with him being a pop star or anything.
Yeah,
It is only because he used to play Call of Duty
yeah.
and he
Yeah.
was a very big fan of it.
He's
I can
been
understand that.
he's
But
been
like
involved with
Why the
COD
also
fuck
before
Nicki
also.
Minaj is there? I have no
Mhm.
idea.
Mm.
But and also Messi, Neymar. Like when Messi came out, I was like confused. Like I'm a diehard fan of Messi, but like Messi in COD just doesn't
Doesn't make sense.
seem right.
Doesn't make
Yeah,
sense. True.
like Messi shooting,
No,
and like what's most annoying thing was like Messi's soundboard. Like he's like so
it-
sweetly like enemy ahead and like Grenada and like very sweetly he's like speaking. So
exactly.
like it was like
And
very weird.
it was so distracting.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like Messi's like when he got hit, and I was like making really weird noises. Like was quite annoying.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
is.
but that's the point, right? They
Hmm.
have to sell bundles. It's fine, ठीक है, military shooter and all. But after a point, there is only a lot you can do with milsim skins.
Hmm.
So you have to do uh, sort of like non-milsim skins. You have to do like
What again? The same question comes. Why? Because just because you have to make money. And the worst part is, it's not even like, it's
आप कैसे हो? Mainani mania Nico Jataikan Saunoa.
so I was just listening to
We
the
lost you.
then so I was just talking to and the Twitch where TTS came in. So my point was like the core component is heading towards core component of Milsim is heading towards realism, and the Nicki Minaj does not fit in. That's the bigger problem.
Like there is this game called Insurancy Sandstorm. And I really like that system. Like you create your own operator. Like it can be from any special force. It can be from any army, and like you can customize it as much as you want. And
Right.
I felt like I wish COD had this thing. Like it would really look great in COD.
Yeah, in fact, like there is this movie called San Andreas. If something along the lines, along those lines comes in, I would wholeheartedly welcome. Like Winter Soldier would make a better fit than the boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Exactly. Like Captain America also, like a better fit.
But,
like an actual fit.
When they added the boys
Yeah.
characters, so one thing that they did really nicely was the event, which
Did
was
they?
basically there was this small event where you play this game mode. It was a normal resurgence mode,
Super.
but
Yeah.
yeah, you would. I haven't seen the boys, by the way, so don't spoil it. But you would
Why?
just find this. I'm just waiting for it to finish so I can binge watch it.
It
So
will never stop.
that's
So,
fine. At least let them have like 5 seasons or so, then I can start watching. But yeah,
yeah.
anyways, so they did this thing where they would have this. You would have these powers.
Mm-hmm.
You could uh, you could teleport. You had the superhero landing. You had lasers, and you had something like a shock discharge. So
Right.
that was a lot of fun to play with. So when they did that, that was fine. But my point being, I'm fine with them adding Nicki Minaj skins. Um, First of all, because it's like bright pink, so it's like really nicely visible. So if someone actually wears it, it's actually good for them to wear it.
And yeah, like there was a Black Noir skin. That skin is completely invisible. Like you go in a dark spot, and that skin is not even a bit visible. So
Rose
like,
2.0.
Rose
exactly. And people
3
just
point
bought
something.
Black Noir just for that reason.
Right. Yeah. Again,
But yeah,
we are talking
those
about Call
black
of Duty all
skins,
too much.
gray skins, yeah, let's just change. But
Yeah.
yeah, those black and gray skins just become boring to even
Yeah.
look at after a while.
But they can do something like Rainbow Six. Like they bring in operators from various special forces and sell their bundles. Like they can do something like that too.
But you're just implying
Rainbow
कि
Six is owned by Ubisoft,
नहीं,
the
but you're
licensed
implying that
developer.
they're just they actually want to care about the player base.
Hmm.
So that's one
Yeah,
thing.
like
That's not
I
gonna
miss those
happen.
days when like you
I
just
feel like
choose
they're
your
just
special
creating.
force, like you go for Delta or you go for Spetsnaz, and like you get a random operator.
I feel like
No,
Activision is just
see, if
waiting to
you
cash out with the after the
sorry,
Microsoft deal,
Yeah.
and
no,
they really
but
don't
if you
care. They're
look
just
at it, sorry, Shreyas, all
Hmm.
the other skins that people don't buy on the Activision store are all
Hmm.
these special ops.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
There are tons of skins. They've already done that. They
Hmm.
doesn't sell.
Yeah, true.
That is the reason why they're bringing all these additional things.
again
Yeah.
with
And
their
yeah,
mother's credit cards.
exactly.
Those are the ones buying. Those are the same people buying Nicki Minaj skins and whatever
Yeah,
boys
all those
Homelander
flashy
skins.
skins.
Yeah,
Like those skins are like most easily visible.
I get,
ठीक
but
है
yeah.
बहुत हो गए fraud.
Yeah, I mean, see, इतने
Yeah.
भरे हुए हैं ना कार्ड से सारे के सारे
Yeah,
that we
like
could
I
not.
I
especially
I
for the
have
guy.
like over 1500 hours in this game, so I can just go on and on. But let's just
Yeah, same man. Like,
segue.
yeah, the wars on one side of the things were fairly
No, I have
closer to
1500
match.
hours in this game. alone.
Why would you do that to yourself, man? Why would you do that
I'm
to
not
yourself?
I'm not even talking about the older games. So
Yeah, and that's something that I tended myself to it, and I was like, "Nay, bhai, this is something that I don't want to do in my life. I want to do something fun." So I segued away. I literally uh, made my way out of those excruciating loops of
mm,
nothing but same thing over and over again, like literally same nonsense over and over again, in fact. So I was like,
that's
that's I think we need to bow out from that because it's enough. We had PUBG for the longest time, PUBG Mobile. That's now COD has become PUBG for for a fairly long time now, for us at least, for the PC gamers. Mobile वाले तो पता नहीं क्या ही कर रहे हैं अभी. But I realized how fucked up this thing becomes in terms of how people go to manage their time versus how they want to grind, because a lot of people want to do that, right? The core community of Call of Duty is so tight that we just cannot live without complaining about the game as well, which is also there. I realize we've become a little too bushy, if you will. I think that's the
खेलेंगे
word.
भी और गाली भी देंगे.
खेलेंगे भी
That's-
गाली भी
Yeah.
देंगे. Yeah, that's like
Core
love it,
community
Yeah.
in a nutshell.
love
And like
love
the
it
biggest
relationship.
example is Virat. Biggest example.
Yeah, so I
But
said
yeah,
that.
one thing I did was somewhere around season 3, I just stopped playing COD. Like for a month, I didn't play COD at all. I would play like maybe 1 hour in a week or so, or 2 hours in a week when my
Yeah.
friends were playing. But I would not play COD at all. I would be there on Discord. I would
Yeah.
like watch other people play. But I would
Yeah.
just play like other games. I finished GTA 4, which was on my playlist for a really long time. I played Watch Dogs 3. I played a bunch of games on Game Pass on my Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the
Uh,
same thing.
and I just realized that there's so much more fun in just like chilling out, playing
Mm-hmm.
these other
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
And that
But other
is,
games as in not multiplayer games, but like single player games
Like
that you can just
campaign
play by
single.
yourself.
Mm-hmm. Like I would like to say one thing. Like COD's campaign is very underrated. Like that was like my childhood was completely based on its campaign, and I miss that part.
yeah. Like that, yeah. There was certain other games that we started playing as well, just because I
Mhm.
wanted to go away and then, connect with the childhood side of things as well. Again,
Yeah, like
bachpan mein padi thi.
stories, stories something important.
Yeah, there is so much to do. Age of Empires there. Then we have
Mm-hmm.
Tekken. Then we have so many other games that we played bachpan mein, which are still
Mhm.
running, by the way. Tekken happens to be one of those franchises again that continued to be on the same price point as Call of Duty, by the way.
Mhm.
And this is something that I realized was which was there and which was common among all the other games that we played, like Bachpan se Tiwari. But Tekken
Like
happens. Tekken is also
but-
there, na? But and
Mhm.
India is full of Tekken players. I don't know why do we
Yeah,
not play
true.
that.
Have you played other versions of Tekken other than
1, 2,
this
3,
one?
bro.
Tekken 7? Okay.
1, 2,
So
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tag 2.
how would you say is like Tekken in terms of innovation over the years?
Oh,
Well, not just
of
graphical
course.
innovation, but innovation in terms of gameplay.
Of course, it has changed. It has changed like
Well, I haven't played,
drastically.
so I'm just asking from like an outsider's perspective.
Yeah.
How would you say that a lot of it has changed?
Like mechanics wise, graphics wise, there is so many things that are already there, and the characters have developed as well. So there was this one time when I was playing with Jin Kazama, everybody knows, right?
Mhm.
And Jin Kazama used to do this chakri that would basically be very very iconic chakri that he used to do.
Yeah.
Mm.
पर याद होगा ऊपर करके then there would be one leg button that will keep on spamming, and then suddenly these things would become like a commonplace for all the players. Now when I came from, like, after playing that particular move in Tekken 4 and Tekken 6, not 4 I think, but Tekken 6 mein khela, and Tekken 6 mein I think was not present still, and Tekken Tag mein it was also present. Ab 7 mein nahi hai. 7 mein the chakri is not there, but that chakri is like, when that was like with that one particular move was there in the character's playstyle of उसके बाप का नाम क्या है?
उसका बाप वही है ना, वो जो
हाँ, Kazuya.
Kazuya Mishima.
Wait, Kazuya, I think was his brother or something.
No. Kazuya Mishima.
Okay.
Heihachi's son.
Okay.
Right. So that one was that one has the same what do you call it? The chakri that is done, and that was something that I realized was that has changed over the time. Also, there were certain moves for Yoshimitsu that have changed. So many things have changed over the time, but I still enjoy that game essentially because it still has a lot of developmental learning curves. Just there is the timing aspect, then there is the defensive aspect. Ab Tekken 8 में नई चीज़ आई है that these I think they're going towards some sort of a heat mechanism where you start being aggressive and you build up heat, and then you can, once you build up heat, you'll unlock certain levels of power, and then I think once you max out, then you can go for your super and stuff like that, which is very cool. So I realized how fun that sounds, and I think they're focusing towards like a very aggressive gameplay rather than just holding back and defending it, because in today's today's match as well, and a couple of matches that I was playing in ranked before, I'm stuck in 2 Dan, by the way, because and 55,000 prowess, but I think I've seen a lot more players who are far more defensive, so they'll block it out and nothing else. Instead of blocking out, they're focusing towards throwing and, countering the move in that case. And I think which is a welcome change in this regard as well, because अगर वो नहीं होएगा तो फिर तो मज़ा ही नहीं है ना. Like, in fact, I realized Tekken is that, and then there is Street Fighter as well. What do you guys think of that? Did you guys play?
No.
I've played a bunch of Street Fighter back in the day. अभी तो recently कुछ नहीं खेला, but I'm actually really interested about these 3 games coming out together: Street Fighter, Tekken,
Mortal Kombat.
and Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
I think Street Fighter's out.
Street Fighter 6 is out, yeah. काफी सही लगी मुझे कि देखने में भी सही लगी. It has gone 3D as well. We used to have 2.5D.
को तो आजकल बहुत होती है इस पर.
Yeah, 2.5D हो गई थी बीच में तो I think, and then things changed completely. But coming back to Tekken was something that has always been part of that. बचपन की इतनी सारी यादें इसके साथ जुड़ी हुई हैं that I just cannot fathom not playing this game, for sure. One, and two, what I realized was India में PUBG का जितना craze है, और अभी भी है. In fact, a lot of people still ask, PUBG नहीं खेल रहे, PUBG का क्या situation है. But Tekken का क्यों नहीं है is what I realized. Tekken का होना चाहिए यार. I mean, ideally it should be there, no?
Yeah. Most of the people who played Tekken are probably us, who played on like either PlayStation 2s or we played on those arcade machines.
Yeah, for sure.
And now mostly the market that is there is the one that plays on mobile. So the only game that they actually play on mobile is Free Fire and PUBG Mobile.
Yeah, true.
So I feel like that's the
Yeah,
thing. I mean, there's a market for it definitely, but it's just like it's a very niche market.
Yeah, true.
Or at
millennials
least,
फंसे हुए हैं इसमें.
maybe if it's not a niche market, it's just a market that's not like too vocal about it. Well,
Mhm.
if you go on YouTube and you just go on India
Yeah,
gaming
yeah.
section live, most of the stuff that you'll find is
Minecraft.
Minecraft,
GTA
GTA,
5.
Yeah.
and
Mm.
then PUBG Mobile or BGMI.
Mhm.
बट माइनक्राफ्ट के अलावा भी तो कुछ होना चाहिए ना. आई मीन बच्चे लोग तो ठीक है, समझ आ गया. दोज गाइज आर द वंस हु मेड माइनक्राफ्ट टुडे.
Hmm.
बट
Mhm.
टेकन 8 और एज ऑफ एम्पायर्स जैसी गेम्स जैसे हम लोगों ने बचपन में खेली, आज तक इतनी सारी चीज़ें हो गई खेल रहे हैं, लेकिन हम लोगों ने उसके बाद कभी फोकस ही नहीं रखा है इस चीज़ों का. आज के टाइम पे इफ somebody says कि I want to start streaming, and if somebody
Mhm.
who's way past 30,
Hmm.
one,
Mhm.
you have to think it through, and two, these are the games that actually define, right? Like the
Yeah.
27, 28-year-olds, in fact, even if they want to start streaming today, and I'm not
Hmm.
even saying if they want to start streaming, but just have fun if they really want to do that. How good is it? Like, I mean, I'm just confused. Would you rather go to a game that you've played in Bachpan, or would
Mhm.
you rather go for a game that is of today's time?
Well, I would always prefer older games.
Bachpan.
Like hands down, yeah, hands down. Like old games were like best.
कौन सी वाले? Which ones?
Like I would go for OG COD. Like definitely. Then
घुमा फिरा के कॉर्ड
original.
पे आता है हमेशा. इसके अलावा.
Okay. And Assassin's Creed series, I would say.
No, you
आंटी
talk
को बोलना
Like
पड़ेगा तेरा उनका क्रेडिट कार्ड ओपन कर दें.
okay, another one I would say Assassin's Creed series. Like that one was
Assassins.
pretty great. Hmm.
Yeah,
And Prince of Persia.
Prince of
Like
Persia.
I think it's completely forgotten in like today's time. Like no one
Prince of
even knows.
Persia is basically a precursor to Assassin's Creed in a way,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
in a lot of
Ideally,
ways actually.
not
Yeah.
just ideally, but technically too. In fact,
Technically also,
yeah,
yeah. मतलब you can
Mm-hmm.
say Prince of Persia was like they made it and then they realized कि they were onto something.
yeah,
So
Mm-hmm.
then they for almost 10 years Ubisoft just added climbing on towers and doing parkour
Mm-hmm.
to all of the games.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
They did it in Far Cry. They did it in Watch
Watch
Dogs.
Dogs.
right.
They
Mm-hmm.
obviously did it in Assassin's Creed. So yeah.
And then, in fact, they also started spinning off a couple of things as well, didn't they? Like,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
उसमें easier, there were certain storylines that they tried capitalizing on, but that didn't work pretty well for them. Did it? I'm not
So
sure.
one thing they've done is like they have so many games,
Mm-hmm.
but all the games take place in the same universe.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but again, if the prince is that feisty, do you really need the creed?
Hmm.
Well, I think Create was a like very innovative form of Prince of Persia. Like you go to Italy and you free the free Rome from all the Templars and the Borgia Empire.
Ah,
Then you go to America and and free America from British, or go to like Golden Age of piracy where you would like loot the British, loot Spanish ships, and just be a pirate.
yeah,
So like there were like a lot of creative stuff, and even now like in Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla, like there are like some create innovative aspects, like you can play as a Viking or a Spartan,
mm,
but
But I
they
think
don't have that Assassin's Creed vibe.
that's
Like
the
they're
thing
more
with
of an RPG. Hmm.
With
interesting.
Prince of Persia, that Persia is just, I mean, it's just big enough for maybe 3 games or 4 games.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
But if you remove Persia from it and now it's just a prince, maybe he's not even a prince, he's just a dude who's
Yeah.
climbing things. Then you
Yeah.
can climb Eiffel Tower. You can also climb fucking pyramids.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
climb whatever something in
Mm-hmm.
Americas, those Aztec pyramids, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You can do
Right.
whatever. So yeah, I feel like that just it just makes sense from a business point of view that you just open a lot more doors. And जो इसमें हो रहा अभी, so the recent Assassin's Creed games, especially last three ones,
Mm.
they're not really Assassin's Creed games. I mean, obviously
Mm-hmm.
you play as assassins and you have all those characters and all that.
Mm.
You have animus and everything, and
Yeah.
as Turbo, I think that's the company. You have all of that. Like it's fine. I mean, after that, uh, it's more like so if you're playing Valhalla, it's more like you're playing a Viking game than an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, true.
It's just you have these characters who are
Right.
assassins and all of that, but it's still a Viking game.
I like one thing I would like to add is that like these days games have gone really grindy. Like in Assassin's previous titles, like you can just simply progress through the story. Like no need for side missions. Like you don't do them. It's not a problem. And there was like no level system. Like you just simply enjoy the story. Relax and enjoy the story. Like and
Yeah.
but these three titles, like you do a mission, then you have to spend hours grinding, finding new weapons, then only you will be able to do the next mission. Like that's the most annoying thing. Like the story would be of 13 14 hours, but you have to spend 30 hours extra just to grind and get to that level.
Good question.
It's like,
But your
yeah,
question
that's
hurt the
like,
profitability of the companies. Honestly.
yeah, like in Odyssey there was this thing. If you want to progress earlier, you can buy some stuff from the store and
Yeah.
it would help you progress earlier. But like those stuff were like completely annoying. Like you have to grind for 5 6 hours just to do a 10-minute mission.
Yeah.
And
Well,
To be honest,
those side quests like so annoying and so boring. Like I was like I just completely gave up on Valhalla.
to be honest, if I'm paying 60 hours, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
$60 for a game, I
yeah.
would want the game to be at least 60 hours, $1 per hour.
Yeah. That
Mm-hmm.
that's the basic.
And
Yeah.
even
That's
then, I
true.
won't probably be buying it for $60. I would be buying it on a sale because it's a Ubisoft game, so they're broken at
Yeah.
launch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, still, one way to artificially do it is to make the game really grindy. That's what a lot
Mm-hmm.
of game developers do,
yeah.
which is fine. I mean, if you actually look at Ubisoft games,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
uh, at least the world building is so beautiful that
Yeah.
sometimes I would
True.
just turn on the game. Like I've played a bunch of these open world Ubisoft games, Far Cry,
Right.
newer ones, Far Cry 5, 6, or
Mm-hmm.
this one, Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, Valhalla, all of these.
Mm.
And a lot of times I would just open the game and I would just roam around and just chill and look at
Yeah.
the
True.
environment.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then I have like a way to just like if I want to grind, then I have that completionist mindset that I would just go on like doing everything, doing all the grind.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just that the game is sort of like catering multiple play styles. That
Mm-hmm.
if you want to do like the grinding thing, you can do that. They have like side quests, so you actually go to places that you wouldn't in the main story because the main story can only be as long as like whatever, so a few hours, 18 hours, 20 hours.
Mm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
usually the length of these games. Like in you, they can't. Realistically, you can't be expected to explore every nook and cranny of the world that they've built, and they do put a lot of effort when it comes to world building.
Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
Games, yeah, Ubisoft games come out broken. That's a different story, but
Mm.
in terms of like their environment and their world building, they definitely put a lot of effort there.
Yeah, like the
So
visuals are the like they are the best at making the best visuals.
yeah, so
Yeah.
they would want you to like if I would make a game and I've put a lot of effort, I would obviously have a main story, but I can't take the player everywhere in my main story. So I would want them to go like some other place to just experience that set piece that I've made in the
Mm-hmm.
game.
True,
I think it
very
makes
true.
sense.
Yeah. I mean, they are masters at one recycling their stuff.
Mm.
But I mean, they're not bigger than COD in that case. COD does that a
Mhm.
lot. Like they recycle the entire 2 decades in just 6 games, 4 games.
This
True.
this new
True.
game,
Yeah,
this new COD game is just like
yeah,
100% recycling.
yeah.
There's no,
Yeah.
so they're charging $70 for older maps, and
on
I
a
mean
new
that
engine. On
on
a
a
new
new
engine,
engine.
yeah.
That's
That is
the
a
Mhm.
biggest scam. They're charging $70 for
yeah,
older maps, older guns,
yeah.
and older mechanics that should have never left the game in the
In the
first place.
first place.
Yeah.
So they
True.
created like
Yeah.
a very artificial, I mean, absolute zero value
Mm.
vacuum, and then they're selling you the solution
At,
to that
at
vacuum.
max, at max, this game should be maybe like $10 because of the campaign.
Mhm.
It
Are you
shouldn't be. It
serious?
shouldn't be $70.
Like I'm
It
just
shouldn't be
excited about
$70.
the campaign. Just excited about the campaign, like nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the campaign, speaking of COD, in fact, and also Ubisoft, these guys also made like a COD killer, right? Ubisoft guys. And
Mm.
Mhm.
speaking of that
Mm.
game, X Defined is something that I was thinking of as well, and turns out,
Mhm.
and they're super on point. It's a community built game. Even the executive producer has put in a lot of effort gathering all the feedback from
The developers are, I think,
yeah
ex-COD devs.
ex COD devs. In fact, yeah.
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 Yeah. I
So,
think
I,
they
w- I,
worked on
w-
Black Ops 2.
huh?
I would just like to correct you.
Yeah.
X-Defined isn't a COD killer.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3 will be a COD killer that we were told of, and X-Defined will be one of the top five CODs of all time.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Nicely
like
put,
that
man.
game just completely reminded me of Black Ops 2.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, in fact, Black Ops fairly sari look and feel and movement and
And
whatnot.
even mechanics. Yeah. Movement
Mechanics,
also.
movement and gun play and whatnot. Like it felt very, very arcadey to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we are talking about the arcadiness of this thing,
Mm-hmm.
it turned out to be like a very, very
This is
nice.
what COD should have been.
Yeah. Like I think they should just restart the servers of Black Ops 2. They would do much better than Modern Warfare 3.
I specifically don't want to spend too much time on COD. There's so much more to explore. I can hear myself, Shreyas.
Mm-hmm.
Nahi. Fix your mic.
So there's like a lot of other games that we should be playing other than COD. Even if you're not playing AAA games, you could be playing like some indie games.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
Yeah,
what.
indie games are cool.
Indie games are cool. Which ones are we talking about particularly? There was one
Uh,
thing that I really felt
like
was.
recently this game came out, Stray.
वो तो खेला मैंने. वो
Like
बहुत प्यारा है.
uh,
बहुत
yeah,
प्यारा
like
है.
it's a
ये तो
really
बहुत प्यारा
beautiful.
game है. I've been
Mm-hmm.
following that game since 2015, I think 2015 or 16. And it was called Project HK, and
Project
they just had Project HK and
HK.
HK, H for Hong and K for Kong, so HK Hong Kong. And they just had this one web page where they had this sort of a tech demo of a black cat doing parkour on pipes and shit. And I'm a simple man. I see cat, I press like. So yeah. So I've been following them since then, and then it was supposed to be released in 2020, I think, or 2021, I think, and then it got delayed for a year
Right.
because they were just timing it with PS5. I think. I think it got released in 21, and they were just timing it with PS5 or whatever. And this was one of the games that I pre-ordered, and I didn't regret pre-ordering
Yeah,
it.
Stray, nah, yeah. I
Mhm.
thoroughly enjoyed Stray. In fact,
Mm.
Yeah, that was a pretty unique game.
oh yeah, and especially I realized how fun this game is in terms
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
not just single player but also like putting chilling and
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
being an anime.
I think they should bring a co-op in this game.
This is a game that just I don't think they should bring co-op. I don't think they should even bring multiplayer into it, because next thing you will be like, oh, they should bring battle royale into it, and I don't really want to play a
No,
battle royale
that'd be too
with
much.
cats.
Nah,
But
nah.
yeah, I
That's-
mean, it is what it is, and it is perfect.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That
It
was
doesn't
fair. I
need
realized too much.
it doesn't need anything. It probably doesn't even need a sequel. It's just, I mean, they'll probably ruin it if they add. I don't know, maybe not, but I mean, it's
like
fine what it is.
it's a small game, but it's much more fun than other, like, you know what time. I won't name it, but
Huh?
it's much more fun than other games.
What would you not name?
जिसमें
Like
credit card लगता
game.
है.
Acha, like that? No,
Uh,
no way.
yeah,
Yeah, the one game that should not be named again in this podcast.
yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
this is slowly becoming a Voldemort of the games. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, certain games like these, like Stray, in fact, Baldur's Gate, we started with as well. I realized kitni
Mm-hmm.
mazedar games hain. In fact, when it comes to uh, having these games around, and
Mm-hmm.
the second part is like when once you start exploring sideways, not just single player co-ops as well. There's so much more to
Mm-hmm.
explore in terms of these. In fact,
Yeah.
there is RPGs as well. New World is something that I specifically realized was so much fun. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
like I specifically enjoyed the crap out of that game
Mhm.
while I was doing solos. Like
Okay.
that game deserves my respect.
I've heard a
Mm-hmm.
lot about New World. I've
Yeah, yeah,
mostly positive stuff.
yeah,
There's like some player-driven economy and all that, which is whatever.
yeah.
Uh, but other than that, mostly what I've heard is like positive stuff about that game.
Yeah. So this is something that I realized was, I mean, such a breath of fresh air. And then there is so much more to this one, this genre as well. That there was this Elder Scroll Online. It went free for a very brief period on Epic, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and people are still playing. Like 25 million player base for a game that is $5 or I think $10.
And
I'm not sure.
these guys are making Starfield, so
Same guys.
same guys, Bethesda.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda. Yeah,
They're making Starfield,
yeah.
and I'm just I'm just very excited to play that game.
Oh, same.
I haven't seen a single trailer, and that's because I don't want to see a trailer and then like expect something.
Yeah,
But because I played other Bethesda games like Fallout and Skyrim and all, I just have like an idea what this game's gonna be like,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't want to spoil myself by watching or more importantly expect something that wouldn't happen by watching trailers and then like get disappointed. So I would rather just play the game. But the
yeah.
hype for this game is real.
Which one are you talking about? Which one are you
Star-
talking about?
Starfield.
Starfield, yeah. There is
Mm.
Starfield, then there is Tekken 8, then there is Mortal Kombat, then there is
Mm.
a couple of other games, I think solo games that I felt were really nice to even just explore, like play the demos out. The demo wala situation is literally gone. We used to
Mm.
get to
Yeah.
play demos
Mm.
as well, like play for 5 minutes and then realize how this is.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
But
The
demos,
thing,
hey.
the thing is, ki with these games, I mean, not with these games, but with this, what we have today,
Hmm.
the thing is, ki, you don't really need to watch, play demos. I mean, obviously, playing demos,
Yeah.
if, not playing demos will never be equal to playing demos. And experiencing something by yourself is obviously going to be different. But yeah, I mean, you can just watch a stream on Twitch or whatever, or YouTube,
Yeah.
and you can see if you like the game or not, which is also something that, I mean, it's sort of scummy Because
But wait,
if you're as a game studio or as a game publisher, if you're really uh convinced your game's good and it's gonna sell, then let people play demos. A lot of AAA games don't come out with demos. You either buy it
no, you don't.
or you don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, I was playing, I think, one of these games. I think Beer Factory Simulator, something along the
Mm-hmm.
lines as well. And then I realized how nice, and I just got to play the prologue. Yeah, it was so much
Mm-hmm.
fun. I mean, there was a lot of build-ups, mechanics that need to go, that need to be understood as well. And I think
Mm-hmm.
people, once they play firsthand, like you said, if people get to play firsthand, I think um, it's a far better conversion
Mm-hmm.
into a sale, which is a good thing again. But they also want to keep the community base as well, which I believe streamers would still do, right? I mean, streamers, somebody like Ninja, for example, or Shroud, I don't see it because he keeps on playing a bunch of games. But
Mm-hmm.
somebody like Ninja or Cypher PK, these guys have been loyal to a game because
Mm-hmm.
that game became their personal brand at the same time. And also
Mm-hmm.
the fact that these guys were just there, so I mean those games practically built their careers. And also they have been on, I'm not sure if they were on payrolls or so, but if they were ever associated with Epic Games directly or indirectly as content creators, I think they would definitely they were definitely doing a very fantastic job of keeping the community together. There were times when I think Ninja slipped up and he was like, "I'll just make one call at Epic and I'll have your account banned." And everybody was trolling him that, yeah, Epic is just doing that for you and nothing else, right? I mean, that is a very stupid thing to say. It's such a big company is sitting down and banning players just because Ninja called. So,
But yeah, I
yes.
mean, some of these streamers do have this power, especially in Call of Duty.
Do they?
But yeah. I mean, there's a whole whitelist, grey list, blacklist thing.
Yeah.
Uh, but if you have a whitelist,
Yeah.
you can just report someone and they'll get shadow banned instantly. If you get into a blacklist, you'll keep getting shadow banned, and grey list is like you will get shadow banned, but you'll be out of shadow ban, and then probably you won't get a shadow ban again. Yeah, I mean, besides this, if you just go onto Game Pass,
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that is really good about Game Pass or even the subscription service that Sony has is that you actually get to try out like a lot of these insane games that you probably would have never played,
True.
just because you would have to pay for them. So, for example, I played this game. Uh, it was called. It was that rat game, Plague Tale.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Wreck
Plague,
or which one?
first one, Plague Tale Innocence. So I
Oh.
played
Oh, yeah,
that.
that one for free.
I completed that game, and then it was like so good. I wanted to buy it, but when I was going to buy it, Epic just gave it for free,
Yeah.
which was pretty good.
Yeah.
So I mean that's good that they gave it for free. Otherwise, I would have bought it because the game just itself was too good. And
Now you're tempting me to play it, by the way.
if you've played the first one, play the second one. I have to play the second one.
I haven't played
First one's
any of them.
oh play the first one. It's too good.
Yeah.
I yeah. I've played like these smaller indie titles on Game Pass, and these are just games that I would have never played, and it's just like a very nice experience. There's also this new game on Steam. It
Yeah.
just released, I think, last month called Venba,
Yeah. Starfield
and
is what we are looking at as well. By the way.
Starfield. So it's gonna be good.
Yeah. We just spoke
It
about it.
has to be good because because Xbox needs a W
And
in
also,
like
yeah,
a
they're creating a new universe after what, 20 years or something like that, I think. Creating a
hmm.
new universe means they've done like an extended amount
They
of
did
work.
they did take a lot of time to actually complete this game. So yeah.
Yeah. And that means a lot, right? So I mean, if a company is coming back with another universe, Universe means like we are talking about something like Warframe. Now Warframe 2. They also they all segued from their conventional reset to a very two-dimensional reset, where they came up with that Tiwari paradox, which basically creates like another line of start for the players, and then you merge back into the main story, which is an interesting thing to see as well. So, which was something like that. The Starfield, yes, it's definitely on my wish list for this year. In fact, next year, this year.
6 days.
6
5
days?
So there's 6 days. 5 days, okay.
Wow, I forgot completely. My bad. But yeah, Starfield is there on my wish list regardless. I haven't pre-ordered yet.
You don't need to pre-order. You can just, if you have Game Pass,
It's a
you
day
just
one.
trade on that. Day one Game Pass. So that's on 6th September. If you buy the game, you get like
24 hours.
no, you get 5 days early access,
Which is first.
which is first.
You can try Game Pass for 14 days again for 50 rupees. Is that a thing again? Because I've already tried that. Like I exploited that thing that came out. So
I mean,
the 50 rupees one. Yeah.
I think so, but even if it's not Game Pass itself, if you just get that 300 wala deal,
Yeah.
it's just worth it.
It's a decent deal. I mean, if I'm buying a Game Pass for 1 month as well, I think that's more than enough. You play that game and then you're more than happy to have played the game and recorded your thing and be merry with it. And then once you want to keep it, then you buy again on a sale, which is I think the ideal way to go about it. So journey.
I think that's what I'm also going to do. I'm going to play it for as long as I can on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Before I get bored or whatever. And then after that, I'll probably be buying it on sale on Steam.
Yeah.
But one thing I've heard about this game is that the campaign is really long. So that's something that's really good.
How's 100 hours, I guess?
100 hours? Yeah, somewhere around that. 80 to 100 hours.
The same thing as Baldur's Gate, na?
Huh.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. In fact, Baldur's Gate is Baldur's Gate, I don't know, whatever the pronunciation is, but I realized how fun this game is as well, right? So I want to play that now. Baldur's Gate is not there on Game Pass, is it?
No.
No, I don't think so. It's I don't even think it's on Xbox consoles.
No, it's not on Game Pass.
It's like some Sony shit. Or they haven't added it yet on Xbox.
Yeah, you can also change your Steam region to Argentina and get Starfield for $2,800. See, I don't mind paying for a game if I like it. If I don't like it, but for that, we were just talking about how this one was. We need demos back in the scene, like prologues and otherwise as well, so that we can taste what we want to buy ourselves rather than somebody else playing for it as well. Even as a streamer, I would always go for that. And also that once we can figure it out, then only I can I would like to spend the money. I mean, given the game's price points are at $4,000-5,000, they are right now just milking millennials, if you will, because the previous generation never used to do this. And also the newer millennials, not the older millennials.
Mommy credit cards.
And then come the mommy credit cards, which essentially are in fashion right now. But again, they need to focus on, creating that particular stage of sale where people are taking that experience firsthand as well, so which is always there. Baldur's Gate is not on any console as well, but Xbox Game Pass PC wala also has a lot of PC games as well, which is fun. Which is what I was expecting that this would be. Apart from that, I think there is so much There are so many other games as well. Like there's something called Venba.
Mm.
Uh,
That's what I
that
was talking about.
yeah,
It's a
it's an Indian game.
it's an Indian game.
Indian
It's
studio
actually
as well.
pretty. I think it's made by one dude.
It's available on Steam.
Yeah.
What's his spelling?
Venba.
Venba.
Okay.
It's a really cute game.
Hmm.
Me likes.
Like very घरेलू game.
वो गेम की
Yeah.
गेम की स्टोरी है कि there's this family, immigrant family in Canada,
Yeah.
and it's like I think a Tamil family, and there's a mom who does like a lot of cooking
Hmm.
for the family, and the game revolves around that. So you do a lot of cooking, and you do like this classic, not classic, but you do the traditional recipe cooking,
Oh.
and yeah, and the art style is really nice.
Yeah. Very flat
It
rectory.
seems pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah. And I see idlis in this. Yeah, I'm buying this game.
Yeah,
I
me
am
too.
sold just because of the idlis.
Idlis with the smiley face.
Idlis with the smiley face and the patta as
Biryani.
the noise, as the nose.
Mm.
A noise. Biryani, they're not doing biryani.
Yeah, I don't think they have biryani. They have like
Pulao.
pulao.
They have
Yeah.
biryani. I just saw it. It's literally.
Yeah, it's right there on my screen right now. This is not biryani. This is
Like I just watch it
Nutella
in
wala
trailer.
pulao.
Like it's written biryani.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah.
I was just watching the trailer only, and then this happened. But the fun thing about this is what gets the game going as well, right? So we're talking about it, idlis or biryani or whatnot, and then you suddenly want to eat as well as play the game. I think those are the moments that you savor as gamers as
So
well, because
one thing this game did really well was like bring back Indian cuisine into the discussion,
yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So,
and obviously Indian cuisine is really good.
yeah.
But the thing is, so I was reading comments
Right.
on Steam discussion, and someone was like, "Oh, you need to publish a recipe book with this art style and everything." And I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Just to bring that to a completely new audience that wouldn't have ever probably tasted or even tried to taste something like this, something that we make in India,
True.
and now they'll be able to taste it and also make it. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. In fact, but these are the things that get you going as well. And then I think such games coming up with the
Oh, it's
ideas
on
of
Game
Indian
Pass.
cuisine. It is on Game
I,
Pass.
I just saw it on Game Pass. I'm installing it
Real
right now.
noise. The Game Pass का ये फायदा होता है. Game Pass का कितना? How much are you paying right now?
Uh, so
$349.
I got it on I got it on my Xbox, and
How
I
much?
think I paid 2K, 2.2K for a year.
Oh, there's some sort of a deal, I believe.
There was like some limited time deal.
Oh, interesting.
So I got that, and then like it's probably the best investment I've made.
Yeah, hands down.
Is the whole Xbox console is literally as big as my graphic card, and I just get to play a lot more games onto it.
As what? As your graphic card?
As big as my graphic card. There's Series S,
Right.
and I thought it would be like really big.
Right.
That's what she said, mandatory. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
जितना बड़ा ये है उतना ही बड़ा और उतना ही चौड़ा, like that wide and that big is my graphic card that's on my PC right now. So it's pretty amazing that this compact box can do so much.
Of course. Modern technology. In fact, there is, speaking of modern technology, FIFA has retired its silenced game, I believe. FIFA 23 is
Yeah,
not
18,
there.
19,
Yeah.
and 20. Mm-hmm.
They've
मतलब
they've literally retired the game, right? So I mean they've stopped the license as well.
oh, it's called FC24, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
he is doing it.
EA
I
Football
was
Club.
I was actually watching someone play that.
It's not that cool, huh?
Uh, it's fine. I mean, I haven't played a lot of FIFA, so I mean, I couldn't tell. It's probably like if someone who doesn't play COD, I play a COD game, they'll just be like, हाँ ठीक है, खेल रहा है, but what's new in it? So I couldn't tell, but from what I could tell, they did like a lot of innovations in terms of how realistic the graphics look.
Yeah,
Uh, Player jerseys interact with them running, and like all of the animations seem really realistic.
yeah,
And even the UI and all look really nice. Like it looked really modern.
yeah,
It looked different from what FIFA looks like. So
yeah. But also there's e-football right now. That's something that I realized was at par. A lot of people are complaining against it, and it's a free-to-play one, by the way, which is something that
mm,
a lot of people have not been able to grasp. That a free live service game
mhm.
will have a lot of shortcomings because one, it is free, and two, it's live service, and three, there is a lot more uh, defensive. There are a lot more defensive things that are supposed to be in that game
Mhm.
than the product development itself, because people are ready to exploit these games, like the free ones,
Mm-hmm.
the live service
Mm.
ones, and given eFootball is one of them, and the football fan base is so big, they really want to play,
True. Mm-hmm.
but people are
But
complaining again. Yeah,
one thing I was not happy about FC for 24.
yeah,
Like they included every single player on the in the poster, like even the bad players, but they missed Messi and Ronaldo.
they
Like
include
why?
everybody but Messi and Ronaldo.
Messi and Ronaldo, yeah, like two of the most popular footballers. Like
They
a
retired,
person
no?
who don't even know. No, they're still playing,
Okay.
but like not in Europe. Like two of the most popular footballers, like someone who don't even know what football is, know
Yeah.
who
But
Messi and Ronaldo
isn't
is. Yeah.
isn't Ronaldo playing against construction workers in Saudi Arabia, and Messi is playing against casual
People
players
who
in
people
Malibu,
who are confused about the
Miami?
gender.
Oh. So I
Yeah.
remember this meme by one of the Indian kids who wants to become Rolando, and the other one is Mausi. So
Yeah.
I remember that thing. So
Yeah.
those guys also
Yeah.
know.
And IPL and IPL.
And yeah, they want to play IPL as Rolando and
Yeah.
Mausi. So,
Yeah. Like है कहीं से है
हाँ
मोबाइल पे देखे हैं.
हाँ कहीं से हैं देखे हैं मोबाइल पे, which is what
हाँ.
they're so popular. But I think this is more towards the, how do I say, I think the licensing issue, because I don't think EA would miss a chance like that.
What happened at FIFA, like the organization.
Mhm.
So they wanted to like think that there's more opportunities in this video gaming thing.
Oh,
And
so
since EA has all the rights and everything, it's like a monopoly. So they wanted to extend it. They wanted to release their own game and they wanted to do their own stuff. So they
Okay.
broke off the deal with EA, and probably they will do something by their own, or they will get some other developers on the line. But let's see
I
what their
think
plan.
even Ubisoft was making a football game, right?
I
Uh,
think I'm not
I heard
sure.
something like that.
Yeah,
Either Ubisoft or someone else was
I think so.
also in this game, Venba. So
Mhm.
Venba is basically the character's mother.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
Asha, the game is named after the mother.
yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. And then there are other games that I really felt were required in today's time as well. Guess. Since we have talked about a lot about the fighting games, right? So I remember the fighting games being they were coexisting back in the day, and Street Fighter would coexist with Tekken, would also coexist with King of Fighters. And today's King of Fighters is the only game that, and also Mortal Kombat, of course. And today, that's I think the King of Fighters is the only game that is not existing anymore, or at least is lagging behind in their production cycle. I'm not sure why is that the quest. Why is that even a thing with them?
There was a fighting game like back then. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can take a Marvel superhero and fight with like Dante or any Capcom character,
Yeah.
like Leon from Resident Evil, and that was like cool.
Yeah.
I think that was a response to this game, Injustice.
Yeah,
They
Injustice.
played that game.
Injustice
But I
was a
think
response
Injustice
to all of
came.
this.
Is
Yeah,
that? I thought Marvel vs. Capcom was a response to Injustice.
no,
Or
Marvel vs.
it
Capcom
could
was an
be.
old game.
Yeah, that's an old thing.
Okay.
Injustice came out in 2013. Marvel vs. Capcom like 2008 or 9 something.
Yeah. So that happened, and then Injustice came out because they wanted to have a fight between all the characters. So they literally had to put Superman at the bad side of the story, and then of course
Batman, the hero.
Batman against not the hero. Both of them are heroes, but they're in their own regards, right? So one says, "I'll finish the nonsense. I'll finish crime before it happens." Then the other one says, "No, let it happen first. How would we know?" So that's the civil war between the two, literally. And after that, they came up with the Injustice 2 installment, which basically says that a lot of worse things have happened. Even in the comics, I realized was that I'm not sure how much of comic readers you guys are, but
I used to be a big comic reader, but not much in.
As you read this arc, I mean, this is one of the most insane arcs I've ever read, and I realized how fun it is to read and how gory it is to see Superman actually angry, and the game did not do justice to the entire thing. So that's something that I realized was that, and also what Warner's did was, given I think the NetherRealm's contract, they also gave Mortal Kombat to the same company. Now they're combining everything from.
Yeah, like in Injustice, you have Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and also Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, so they did a cross. Yeah, they made a crossover as well, and now in Mortal Kombat there is Joker and whatnot, and Harley, and yeah. So they crossed over. They made a deal out of that too, which was okay to see, but in Mortal Kombat it's a little too gory, right? So I can see Joker and I can see Harley, but I can't see Batman in this in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
And that is something that I realized was their positioning, but I think the game's mechanics are not at par with Tekken whatsoever. Like in Tekken, you are literally, if you're not using the preset combos on a easy difficulty, you're actually, with all the keys, you're controlling the left hand, the right hand, the left leg, and the right leg. So that's how those controls are set. Now, if we are talking about Injustice does not have this. Injustice is light attack, heavy attack, some sort of a special move, and then the super move. And that's it. That's not fun, man. I don't think I will be able to ever play this. That's literally what mobile game is How would you ever play that? Mobile games are like that. Light attack, heavy attack, and then you keep on doing stuff, which is stupid.
Injustice is also, again, I think a very casual game.
That is what casual
Yeah.
is, but these guys were running their leagues as well, bro, which was what
Mhm.
I realized was funny as hell, because how are you doing this? I could not fathom that. I think there was some sort of a competitive league going on, which was disheartening, but that's that. But I really feel we need King of Fighters back, because I want to play as Iori again. It's been a while. And then Street Fighter had Guile. I've not played Street Fighter 6 at all, but I would love to play that. But all in all, I think this was a very fun conversation. So many games we discussed on. Especially we love to hate COD, by the way. One thing I realized. We love to hate COD.
Yeah, we hate it but still play it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So love to hate COD and hate to love
Yeah.
at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many games otherwise. The free games that we spoke of were Naraka, Fortnite, and what else? Goose Goose Duck we haven't played yet. We have to. X Defiant is also a free game to play, by the way. So many games to play. Which one are you going to play in the next couple of weeks? Like starting tomorrow?
Like I have downloaded few these single player games.
Yeah.
Like I was finishing up with this Illinois. Like it's a 2011 game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are a detective. It's from Rockstars.
Oh.
So so you are a detective and you solve like homicide cases, and it's like a very realistic game. You go and interview people, and based on their facial expressions, you judge whether they're lying or saying the truth. So, and by interviewing people, reviewing the evidences, doing all the research, you have to find the murderer or whatever the case is. So I was like playing that, and it's a pretty cool game. I think it's the most underrated game of Rockstar.
Interesting. I'd love to do that. What was the title again?
L.A. Noir.
L.A. Noir.
Yeah.
Noir.
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 Yeah. L.A. Noir. La Noir. Oh, it's actually L.A. Noir. Oh.
Like Los Angeles. You are LAPD detective.
Yeah. Interesting. And this is a 2011 game.
Yeah.
Right. L.A. Yeah. Noire.
Noire. I like bought it for like 150 or 200 rupees something.
Wow.
And it's pretty fun.
Interesting. Looks interesting as well, eh? Violent.
That's one good thing about Steam, that you can actually buy, like, actually
Old
buying games is like, you can buy old games and you can pay in rupees, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay any conversion, and there's decent pricing. So it's just convenient to actually buy games.
Very true. Very true. Steam has monopolized it. I think this is what we're going to talk about next as well. How much things have changed over the course of time in the gaming scene. In the next episode, I think we'll do this next Sunday or Saturday.
Okay.
Or whenever we do that, please follow us.
I prefer Saturday.
This
You
game is too good.
Yeah.
Which game is too good?
Venba. Even the music is so good.
Oh,
and it's sort of like a visual novel.
Oh.
But you actually have to do stuff.
Right.
I mean, there's like some things where you have to talk, and then you have to choose the correct
Interesting.
thing to say.
Oh, interesting. I really wanted to discuss how things have changed over the course of time, even for Age of Empires, but I think we're short of time, and we'll do that in the next one. We'll actually. We also spoke about Venba. Yes, for sure. We just spoke about Venba before you were in the chat as well. So and Hags in the chat back again. So which is what I was saying. That so we spoke about Venba and how nice this game looks in terms of the entire concept and the fun engagement and get involved in the game. Like it's a family, so there are so many things to do. But I think we have to discuss more on the next games that we're gonna play. We did that, and we're gonna keep Call of Duty out of this conversation for sure because
Yeah, sure.
yeah, because I don't know. Well, one thing we do, one thing we love is Call of Duty. So we're not gonna talk about you anymore. You're not paying us for this. But with this, I think we're going to conclude that. Dude, you had tears in your eyes playing it. Oh, it is amazing. Wow, sweet, man. I will discover and rediscover the joy of playing that game. That's very sweet. And then we'll circle back. Thanks a lot for joining in, boys. This was a lovely conversation. And thanks a lot for joining in Hack, who had to silently exit because of the work. And with this, and also Nico, who was telling all about his sauna adventures that we didn't need to know. So thank you so much for joining in, boys.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll see you back again. We'll have this conversation again. In fact, there is so much more. We were playing Joke Off as a series and as a game among the community, where we sit down, we tell each other's jokes and tell each other jokes, and then we make the other person laugh. If the other one loses,
So there's actually a game like this
we do that
on Steam. It's called Friday Night.
Oh,
Just hear me out. So it's a game called Friday Night. You just you log into that game and you make your avatar, and you go into a mic. It's an open mic,
oh,
and there's like actual audience, like real people sitting there,
hmm.
and then you just have to like whatever, tell joke or play some music or whatever else you do at open mic, and the people actually determine whether it's good or not. So they can like boo you off stage. They can like throw shit at you. It's pretty good.
It's
It's like
you said Friday night, is it?
Yep, Friday Night. It's one of those different games.
I can't see that on Steam. You're saying?
Yeah, I think I have it on Steam only.
Friday Night Bullet Arena.
Friday night. Interesting concept, but
sorry. It's called Comedy Night. My bad. Not Friday Night. Comedy Night.
Comedy night. That makes more sense. Comedy night, of course. Yeah, this is a totally different concept than ours as well, right? So in our case, we generally tell each other jokes. What the So yeah, that happens, and then we have to keep account of things live. So I think one of those clips was posted recently. You can check the YouTube channel, and you can also check out Instagram and other places as well. In fact, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube religiously is all those channels are happening. So please, by all means, check those out. And I think we'll circle back again with another episode of Flypswitch Show, Joke Off. And also, I have collected a lot of videos for you guys to watch. The next time, I want to see your faces, and we'll watch some videos and give a reaction to those. With this, I'm going to take your leave, boys. Thanks a lot for joining in. And I'll see you in the next one.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Good night.
Good night.